Well, welcome back to BRS here for November the 14th on a rainy Monday in Texas. And found a dedicated good spot to put Rusty Knox and Sammy, the castle poster, right here so she could look over my shoulder and say, let's get it done, dear. All right, let's start out this video back on the 55 Chevrolet interior as promised. And we're going to show you where we're getting to on this piece of material here that's got what I'm going to call to you guys a bunch of chicken scratching. It's just so I can sew some pleats in. Let's go over here to one that I sewed up early this morning, and you can see where we're beginning to start at. And yes, all this white is just wax pencil, comes right off. And this is that good symphony grade, hospital grade that guys, it is about as close to man-made leather as you can get. Wears good. So keep that in mind when you're doing a future project. You want something that cleans up well, doesn't stain, takes on UV rays. Anyhow, we're getting off track. So this here is the one for the backrest here at the rear bench seat in the back of the car. And we've already shown where we Velcroed these in, a month or so ago. Got this all ready to go. And so let's get over, and here is what I was talking about. I just barely laid it down. Ugh. This stuff really attaches well. So buy this in 100-yard rolls, and it sews onto the back of the pleat. This one here, I made a boo-boo earlier, and I videoed it with the other camera. Cut myself a little short, so I had to add a piece to that one. But, you know, that is definitely grabs well. I'm not going to lay it back in that seam again. Not right now. This one still has to get the half-inch foam, half-inch foam onto this one, sewed to it. And then we have the centerpiece, and continue on with this. Let's go set this camera up and let's sew some pleats. And let's stop this minute, set this thing up over here so we can showing you how I sew pleats. All right, let's go get in the rocking chair and get around behind this old Juki sewing machine here, and the old 563 big bobbin machine. Put a little fire in the hole. We'll get to these in a minute. First thing trimmers always do is they do a runoff and make sure their thread tension is right. Good here. I am sewing on these pleats first with about 1/4 inch. These is nothing to do to pull down. Then you can see it's hard to see, but really nice seam. So first thing we do is we make sure we set this to the longest stitch. Runoff tabs. We'll go over them runoff tabs here in a few minutes. I've done it in several other videos before. That way, you saw I just pushed out, I got a little tension on that. Little back stitch. Hold your finger right between the foot. Push down as you go. 1/2 inch is a little contrary to some guys when they first start. Little back stitch. And a runoff tab. You can come back and cut these off later. I like to do it on demonstration to get them out of the way right now. These are 4-inch pleats, and you say, man, that looks awful wide. Well, you gotta allow 3/8 on each side of this seam. When you do your pleat, some use half. This job here, I'm using 3/8. And the reason for that is I want my male scrim is real shallow. If it was deep, I'd have to go, wider. Curiosity's gonna get you. You're gonna say, well, all the years you've been sewing, I'm just starting and I'm afraid I'm gonna run a needle through my finger. Well, it happens. Last time it was done was about 1996 when I first started out, and I couldn't learn how to control the speed of the machine. It wasn't this machine, it was an old Singer 111, so you trimmers know how far that goes back. Alright, I don't need quite this much foam sticking out for visibility's sake. So I always do it in case that the vinyl moves. I won't worry about that because we're going to come in here and do this radius like you saw there here in a few minutes. Let's do our first pleat here. These wrinkles, this is the soft look. If you're doing a hard look, this would all be listered down with glue and give you a hard look. Right there, it's hard for you to see in the camera, but there's the seam. I'm using white thread. I probably for video sake should use darker, but I don't want it showing through. I'm going to climb right up on it. I didn't have to pull my tension. Back stitch, when you get on your material, good 3/8. No, if you first start out, you'll be laying out lines, pencil lines or wax lines. But after 28 years or so, you just learn to where it's going to go. There's your 3/8 right there. Do another pleat. We're not quite through 100% yet. Showing you the pleats. This runoff tab is up underneath here. I'm gonna walk right up on it. That one's kind of spit back. Another 3/8. Runoff. Not fast forward into this. Y'all can stop the video along the way. There's the first good two pleats, and we're gonna go for the third one. Get your fingers up underneath there and make sure it ain't laying flat. You should be able to see this thread just off of your right side. Back stitch. I'm gonna back stitch a little better on that one. Pushing down. Hold down on this foam. Excuse me. Hold down on that foam. You feel like something's not feeling right, stick your hand underneath there and make sure she's laying flat. Run off. Alright, there we have our first three plates in. Like I say, I'd have to go over and I'll do like I did that one. I lay out and I make that other template of vinyl that's already cut. Then I add my seam allowance and come around. Now right here I want to pin this down along this edge, except to when I get to, get to here, because this is going to need 1/2 inch. And so every pleat you start off, I need 1/2 inch because I'm going to have a folded seam. It's going to be hard to tell. It's going to look like that coming down that center on all these interiors. And I need 1/2 inch on one piece of material and 3/8 on the other. And we'll get to that in another video. But let's take and pin this down. Remember I said I had to I don't want to stitch all the way out to the end. I want to allow myself on this one. We're sewing right on that edge. Now when you get to right here, if I haven't got to zoom too far, right in here, I ought to move the camera, I guess, over here. Push down hard because you got a knot underneath there and you want to walk over that knot real where the two materials come together and push it down so it lays flat. Okay, here's where the radius is coming in. I went past it about 2 inches, and then I'll end up, once I lay this out and mark it and sew it, I'll blend right into this thread right here. We're going to stop it right there. Coming down right there, we got rain. It's unreal. Now, since I don't have a layout, I'm going to start way in here, and I can always, once I lay that radius out, because this is a little bit long. Let's, again, I'm sewing with this thing on about a 1/4 inch stitch pattern. That lets me move, if I need to, the material around. And it'll move actually in that thread. Crawl up over that knot real careful. This is a hard look. Now, of course, I may have mentioned this before. You would end up blistering all this down onto the material, but this, we're giving this a nice feel. And again, I got to stop before I get to there. Back stitch. Scissors don't want to cooperate today. Let's sew us a piece of the female binder on here. We're going to start here and work our way there. Since I've got already stitched here, this is 12 inches all I want. This is almost 1 3/4 inches wide. We got to go right into that seam. You're going to say, well, I can't see the seam. Well, you just have to learn how to feel for it. You know, it's been since I did that 59 Ford, back up into the videos, since I've sat behind this Juki, and I'll tell you what, I can get a little rusty. And I got to where I just love the machining so much that I'm going to have to make myself love getting back to sewing again. Yeah, I got a fingernail that got ground, you saw a couple weeks ago, and this Velcro really, or this female stay really likes that fingernail being sharp. Not doing much talking right now because I don't want to sew my finger down. Wouldn't make a very good video. Well, might be a good entertainment for y'all, but not for Bear. Here's the tension pad here, run off. Flip her over. Now we got a real nice guide with that green on the female stay. Makes life a lot easier to see and feel. Pardon me. I think I'm coming down with a cold again. All right. Okay, there we go. There is the female material that locks down, like I showed you over there earlier. And we do that repetitious, and I won't sit here and sew the other ones on. As we get further with the video, then I'll come back in and show you how I put the welting cord, sewing the pieces together, doing the, you know, right through here. Like I say, I've got ½ inch over here. The next piece will be sewn in back to where it's only 3/8 and it's short. Then it folds over. Then I top stitch this with the same color thread down through there with heavier thread that gives a nice folded seam down through that center. So today, for November the 14th, a rainy day in Texas and cold, got the fireplace going. We're going to be out of here, and hope this will help somebody that's sewing up their own material seats. But by all means, check out Symphony grade. This is called Classic, but same thing as Symphony. And I've got a really nice thick. This is about 30 thousandths thick, and good grain to it. Wears hospital grade. You know what hospital means in the waiting room. You got kids sitting there poopy diapers, or you got somebody bleeding. It takes a lot to have blood stain this, and you can get it out if you catch it quick enough by just using some sure stuff. Or, you know, a lot of guys say, well, I just use spit. Well, spit takes it out of a lot of things, your natural spit, if it's your blood. But I'll be darned if I'm gonna spit on somebody else's blood and try to wipe it up. But yeah, this is great material. And another shout out to Rusty Knox, if you can see it all right, Michelle, and for the wonderful, wonderful memorial or tribute to Sammy. Just ideal. And now I feel like I've got some help in here in the shop, and over at the other shop I got her pictures posted. So please give us a thumbs up. Hey, it's Extra Clean today. A thumbs up, a like.